That messes me up.
And I was like, oh my God.
That fully messes me up. Like the first couple of times I was like, like that. So I usually just talk it all through it and then I'll start when I want to.
Sure.
If I make a mistake though, I usually count myself down from 3 to 1. So I'll go like 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Right. I'll call it out because I can edit around it, right? But oh, you remember?
I remember. Nice, it was actually good because it meant that we all had time to be like, okay, let's get composed again. And it was good for everyone else. So I like the countdowns.
All good. All right.
Right, cool.
The countdowns work. Okay, let's go. All right. In 3, 2, 1. Yes, my people. Big PROZECH in the building. You already know. Sneakers, Kicks and Creps. We are here with another episode of Icks Chronicles with our very special guest. Jashel Nelson is in the building. Wow, go on, Jeshel. What's kicking?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all good. So thankful and appreciative for having you here. You know, we worked together on a shoot not too long ago at Creps Collection Club, and that was a shoot where there was a lot of opinions flowing. I'm saying heated debate. You get me, like, and I remember a couple of, you know what I'm saying? Like, I remember a couple of times you popped up with a couple bars, and I was like, mental note, man. When I start the podcast back, I need to holler at Jeshel. So I appreciate you for being here, man.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. Yeah, it's good to be back, ready to be more controversial.
No problem at all. Good, all good. So, like, there's no better place to start. Let's go right back to the beginning. What was that shoe that said to you, Jeshel, when you were growing up, when you were just a little nipper, you get me, or maybe a little bit older, who knows, where it said to you, you know what, you got to have me. That one, that first love, that first sneaker that said, you know what, yeah, I'm that guy. You need to holler at me. You need to get me on feet.
That's a difficult question. I'll probably say, you know what, I'll probably say the Air Force Ones, all white. I know it's boring, but it's just a classic. And I remember seeing that my older brother had a pair.
Super classic.
And he always used to get a pair, like every year. My parents would get him a pair. So like I remember seeing that growing up being like, oh, these shoes are cold, like fresh, box fresh pair of Air Force Ones. So like it's just a staple. Yeah, I think it's a wardrobe staple and it's something you can wear with like anything. So for me, that's my like shoes.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I respect that. I don't think many people could look past a white on white pair of Air Force Ones and not say that they're classic shoes. Like amazingly simple and like sophisticated silhouette. We love that silhouette. It works on men, women, children. Like so universal, so like versatile as a silhouette. You get me? And then the white on whites are just crispy and clean. You can't really go wrong on that. Get me? And interestingly enough, when you flip it and you go with the black on blacks, you know what people are on straight away.
See, I've never owned a pair of all black Air Forces. That's the one colorway I've never owned a pair of, but you know.
Could you hold on for 1 second because we had just a little bit of
lag? Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a lag. So I'm gonna just hold off for 1 second just to make sure everything's right. Because it was fine before we started recording and now it's a bit iffy.
No worries.
So is your internet everything okay?
I think so. It seems to be okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
All good. Just so you're aware as well, it records on your end and it records on my end. So if I look a bit fuzzy, don't worry about me. And if you look, to me, you look a little fuzzy right now, but I'm sure it will look fine for your end as long as you look good to yourself. Do you look good to yourself?
I think so. Yeah, I think it's okay. Yeah,
good stuff.
Only like it's not lagging. You're just fuzzy. I think.
Okay, that's all good.
Yeah.
That's all good. And right now, it seems like the conversation is like on the same wavelength or whatever the proper terminology is. So we're good. All right, so I'll jump back in 3, 2, 1. So yeah, 100% with the white on white crispy Air Force Ones. Like you said, I've only owned one pair. Like I've only ever owned one pair of like. Yeah, I've only had one pair. So you were referring to the black on blacks, yeah? I've never had a pair of black on black Air Force Ones because my heart is so pure and clean.
Sure?
But no, 100%. I'm such a good boy. Like the black ones just carry too much weight.
Yeah, I hear it. Too much history there.
You know,
Too much.
there's too much weight there, man.
Yeah.
There's too many motivations connected. So I just leave that to the man there a minute. But the white on whites, I've had a couple pairs of the white on whites, and I've never been I've I've never, the only thing that I've had an issue with back in the day, was the creasing, which I think they've dealt with now. I think they've
Yeah.
corrected now.
Yeah, it's still, it gets creased, but I feel like now you have shoe guards, and all these
Yeah.
like Creps protection things that you can get on them. But yeah, I think it's a little bit better than it used to be. Definitely. I mean, hopefully for the price point that we're paying now, that it would be better. So, yeah,
Yeah. Everything's
definitely.
up now. Everything's
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
Everything's up. No,
definitely.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So what, like, if you don't mind me asking, where did you grow up?
In terms of town or city, I grew up in London.
Yeah,
I grew up in
yeah, no, town,
Southeast London.
city,
Yeah, I grew up in Southeast London. I've lived,
represent.
yeah, for like past 24 years. So yeah, that's where I grew up. Always growing up
We like that.
there.
We like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So when you were growing up in Southeast London, like what were the shoes in your mind's eye that you
Mm,
saw that were very popular in your area growing up? That like when you go back to that time where you were sort of starting to notice shoes,
mm.
what was the shoe you were noticing that was on people's feet?
I actually feel like growing up, Air Maxes were quite popular. So I saw a lot of Air Maxes actually growing up. I remember actually one of the other shoes that I really wanted was an Air Max One. And that was probably my second pair of sneakers,
Love
Air Max
Air Max
One.
One.
Yeah, I remember it was like a black and grey colorway, and I absolutely loved them. Like I begged for those shoes. So when I got them, I was extremely, extremely elated. So yeah, I saw a lot of Air Maxes, and I think that was very popular as well. Like just in my teenage years growing up, and then I feel like I remember being in sixth form, being about 16, 17, 18. That's when the Air Forces became a thing again. I don't, well, for me anyway, became a thing again. And I remember like getting into Air Forces then. But yeah, I didn't own a pair of Jordan like 12 J1s until I was like 18, I think. Yeah, 18, 19. So it took a while to get into my like Jordan 1, and get probably into like my sneaker phase. But yeah, definitely Air Maxes.
That's that's
Mm,
actually, I mean, first and foremost, Air Max in general, Air Max One's probably one of my top 2, 3 silhouettes. I love it, Air Max One.
mm-hmm,
Like I just think it's such a infinitely wearable shoe. Once again, similar
mm-hmm.
to the Air Force One in the sense that like it looks good on everyone. Like it's just
Yeah, it's versatile.
such a
Yeah,
forgiving silhouette.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
super forgiving silhouette. The
Yeah,
mud guard just sets it off. The way they can use color and the blocking that they use on some of the sort of earlier, some of the earlier models. Like in my mind, whenever I think of an Air Max One, I always think of that sort of that gym red, that real proper red on the mud
yeah,
guard and that grey and the white and stuff. Like it really speaks to me. So
yeah.
I'm a real big fan. Speaking of Air Max Ones, um, I was on your Instagram earlier actually, and I saw you had like you had a decent pair of Air Max. Like they had like some iridescence and some
Oh
shininess. Were they
yeah,
like a special?
they
Like
were.
was it Air Max Day or something like that?
So they were Air Max, but they special, but they're
Yeah,
women's. I think they're women's pair actually, and they are just really really cute. I actually got them off. Where did I get them off? I got them off End, and I never get stuff off End because End is just like
shout
notorious
out
for
to
me.
End
Yeah, I was really excited. I was like, oh my gosh, they're End.
Notorious.
Notorious. Like I would never get stuff off End. What's funny,
Oh man,
my brother actually called me up and was like, "Oh, like these shoes, there's a pair in your size sitting on End," and I was like, "Oh, really?" And I just bought them straight away because I haven't had an Air Max One in particular in so long. So I was like, I need these shoes to be in my wardrobe. So
yeah,
yeah,
they're so hard.
yeah,
Yeah, they're so
they're
hard.
very
Yeah,
nice, and they
yeah.
come
I
with
saw
little
them and I was
charms
like,
as well.
damn,
Yeah, they come with some little charms and like they're just
I'm
very
making
special.
wicked.
The
You
boxing
like
is
that?
nice. Like I just like the whole concept. I like when you get a shoe and you get the box and it looks nice and it makes you feel like, oh, this is a collab shoe. Like, yeah. So it's a nice complete package for me. Yeah.
I love all of that stuff. I think because like similar to yourself, like my background is
Mm.
sort of marketing, right? So like
Ah,
I love stories, I love how things look.
yeah.
I like to understand there is a reason for the choices that have been made in the whether it be in the clothing, whether it be in the shoes. I love to
Mm-hmm.
understand the reasons, right? And I'm exactly the same, man. When I get a box and it speaks to the design choices and all of these different things, and they all flow in, and the paper inside the
Yeah,
box is a thing,
exactly.
and they've written some stuff. I'm reading everything. I'm looking at everything. I'm doing all the reading. I'm doing, like, I love it all. Like, that's like
Yeah.
when the Lost and Found, like you can see it when the Lost and Founds drop. Because I think you got a pair of Lost and Founds, right?
I did not get a
Or a
pair.
pair of Chicago's.
No, didn't get a pair. No, no, I didn't.
Wow, I've
I know.
flopped.
I
Apologies,
mean, it's
because I did not
fine.
mean. I did not
You
mean
just you
to.
upset me a little bit, but it's
Wow,
fine. No,
done.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You know what? I really wanted the
It's
Lost and
awkward, man.
Found. It's okay. You know what? I think you just wanted to show off a little bit, but it's fine that you had your pair.
So it's a
Um,
light flex. Just a
like
light
flex,
flex.
like
Yeah.
yeah, mine are behind
Them ones.
me. But no, I really wanted a pair of Lost and
Don't worry
Found.
though, because I didn't get them for resale. I didn't get them for retail.
Oh, did you
I had to. I
know?
didn't get them.
That's
I did
fine.
not get them. No, I had to pay extra for them, and
You got to do what you got to do.
you know what? Yeah, because I didn't have a pair. I didn't have a pair of ones. Like, so I was like, you know, if I'm gonna go in for a penny, in for a pound, as
Yeah.
they
Oh,
say.
you don't
So
have a pair
I
of
said,
ones,
you
and
know,
this is your first
let me get
pair.
involved. Like my first pair to keep, like, because I
Keep,
do a bit of
yeah,
reselling, so I've
yeah.
had a number of ones over the years, but these were
Mm,
the first ones that I was like, you know what, I'd like done my research, and I thought
yeah.
to myself, you know what, um, these are coming
The
out. It
heritage
was
behind
like
them,
last year or
history.
whatever, but it was like, this is it, and the story behind them, and
Mm,
obviously the original pair. I was born in '84. These came out in '85. Obviously they're reimagined, but they tried to essentially
mm.
mimic what it would have been if an 85 pair had been lost for
Okay,
the
yeah,
36,
yeah,
37 years that had. So it's like, they got me. They got me. Like,
yeah.
I'm saying, like, I'm here for that.
It
You
got
get
all
me?
of
Like, so
us.
all of that stuff was cool to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm cool. Like, I'm on all of that, man. I'm on all of those stories,
That's
man. So no,
cool.
I feel that. I
Yeah,
feel that. But yeah,
yeah,
but but the Air Max ones that you were referring to earlier, yeah, I'm a big fan of those Air Max
yeah.
ones, and
I'm a big J1
they
fan as
and
well, so I hear it with the
okay, that's good.
J1s. Yeah, 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 yeah.
And to be honest, your timeline makes sense, because you were saying it was about sort of about 6 years ago that you started jumping
Mm.
on J's. I think it may have been similar for myself as well. Like, I wasn't
Mm.
like or maybe a slight bit older than that, a slight bit longer than that.
Mm.
Just because, like, I'm a real one in terms of, like, J's weren't as popular like growing up for me. You get me? Like,
Okay,
so
yeah.
when I really started getting into kicks, it wasn't J's. It was more like, obviously, Nike and Adidas, and
Mm.
then Yeezys like went heavy, and then Jordans as well.
Yes,
Or
the
and
Yeezys.
that was kind of what's been happening. The Yeezys, yeah, and we will
Yeah.
definitely get
We'll touch
involved
on that.
when
We'll
it
get
comes to
into
Yeezy.
that.
We'll have a chat. We'll touch on that. We'll touch on that. But before we get into that, one thing I always want to know, yeah, right? Because you mentioned, because I asked you about your background, and obviously,
Yes.
happy Independence Day,
Thank
Ghana
you,
Independence Day. We're
Garnet.
recording this.
Likewise to you.
You get me? We're recording. Thank you very much. We're recording this in March, so Guardian Independence Day was a few days ago. So big up all my Ghanaians out there. Love and guidance to you all. But I know for myself, growing up in a Ghanaian household, that shoes
Yeah.
were not the number one priority in my yard. For real, for real. You get me? My mum made that very clear. Like, so any kind of shoe that came into my yard was a privilege and an honor, and
Yeah,
whatever was
fair
on it, you just had to roll in it.
enough.
So I had to go through what I refer to as character building kicks.
Character
You get
building.
me? Or I sometimes called them the unholy grails.
Non-holy grails. I like that.
Right? So I don't know whether you had to sample or build your character through wearing some of these kicks. But I want to throw out some names, see if you recognize some of the names. You get me? And if any of them give you any kind of stories or you recollect, feel free to share. I'll mention a couple names still. Obviously you've got the foundation, which is the plimsoll. You've got Gola, Air, just Air, nothing else. Just Air. Bull Boy, High Tech, LA Gear as well, Dunlop, Mercury, Avior, Ascot, Trax, Adore. Do any of those names ring bells to you,
know what?
Jeshel?
I'm a bit young. Honestly. So some of them do.
Wow.
I know. I'm not calling you old, but yeah. The Dunlop, that rings a bell. And the plimsolls, of course.
Dunlop rings a bell.
Yeah, the plimsolls also. But you know what? My parents are really into fashion as well, weirdly. Like, my mom is a big fashionista back in the day. Still is. So, like, a lot of her clothes and stuff, vintage stuff, she passes it on to me. And she's gotten a bit of the sneaker fever recently. So, she's got her own little collection going.
Really?
Yeah. Really? Can you believe it?
Shout out to Mumsy. I might get her on the pod, you know.
You might have to, because look, her sneaker collection is getting good now. It's getting really good.
It's getting good, yeah. No, I respect it.
That's like, they've had big influence in fashion growing up and stuff, and they've always liked it. So they've kind of always encouraged us to be like creative and like do our thing. Like, all my brothers are quite creative as well, and like push us in that direction. But like, there were times when, you know, you're getting like a new sneaker package and your parents are like, another one? Like, you're getting another so kind of thing. But now, like, my mum's excited. She'll be like, oh, what did you get? Like, she wants to like join in the unboxing and stuff. So you know what, things change, nice. And it's nice to like have like, you know,
that's nice
kind of excitement around it, you know, like, oh, what did you get? Or yeah, can I borrow one of them? I'm like, yeah, cool,
that's really cool, man. It's nice that you even have that sort of that thing in common with your mom as well, like just definitely. Like, because I suppose like for me, like back in the day, my mom was not on it at all. Whereas now, if I pick up a pair of shoes and I bring them to my mom, was like, my mom, yeah, she'll be like, yeah, man, yeah, whatever, man. You know what I'm saying? How much did they cost again? Nah, don't matter.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Tell them half the price. Yeah, knock it like £100.
For real. Get me? I was trying to do their mental gymnastics, man. It's a lot, man. But no, I respect it. But that's cool, man. So you never had to go through the valley of the shadow of death. No character building out here. Just came out looking fresh from early.
I was fresh from the fly. But you know, like it's hard. You have a little bit here and there of like the, you know, oh, like you want all these shoes and things like that. But then I think our parents just got very used to it, because I feel like our older brother kind of went through all of that, so we're good. Do you get me? I have a twin.
So your brother, shout out to Monkwe. Your brother was the sacrificial lamb.
Sacrificial lamb. And me and my twin brother were chilling. Like we didn't have to go through all of that whole. So wow, it's nice. Yeah, it's nice to have. Like,
I respect it. You know what? Some people go through hard times so that those that come after them don't have to. So I respect your brother for doing that, man. Paved the way.
Exactly. So you know what? Not as hard as you think. Yeah. So
no, I respect that. And to be honest, yeah, like I always say this all kind of tongue in cheek, because ultimately, I having gone through what I went through as a young child, I completely understand that it wasn't the priority. I completely understand that there were other slightly more important things than the shoes that I had on my feet. So you get me? Like, definitely more important things. So I kind of respect it. And also, I feel like those brands, even though they weren't like what we wanted, they helped, or for me, I should say, they held us down for a period, and some people are still rocking them now. So I always do this with all due respect. Like, I'm not taking them, because some people are still rocking them till this day. Some people love them. Like, stuff like High Tech have retros.
Even the name is killing me, High Tech.
Like, she said even the name is killing me. High Tech. Oh, that's hilarious. That's all good, man. Shout out to High Tech. right, Jeshel, yeah, we're gonna switch gears slightly, man. We're gonna come a
Mm,
little bit up into the modern day and try to understand
yeah.
like what your modern day flavors are and
Ooh.
what you're feeling, what you
Okay.
currently got on feet, blah 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 blah, and all that good stuff, right? And I call this line of questioning the EST of KIC, and when I say EST, I kind of mean like the oldest, the newest, the
Yeah.
rarest, expensivest, cheapest, the best.
Okay.
You get me? That kind of flavor,
Sounds
like.
good. Sounds good.
So okay, so let's start. Let's start with the oldest. What are the oldest pair of kicks you currently have in your collection?
As an oldest I've brought, then we looking up for my shoes. It's like oldest I've brought. Would you say like the earliest
Oldest you bought
first
or
pair?
oldest you own? Yeah,
The,
no, just whatever's the oldest in your collection. So like a pair you've bought and you've held for
uh,
the longest.
okay,
That could
yeah.
work.
I probably my Royal Toes. My Jordan ones, yeah, my
Oh,
Jordan ones,
okay.
Royal Toes. Yeah. I don't wear them often, so you
All
probably haven't
right.
seen them on the feed. But my Jordan one, Royal Toes, yeah, we'll never let go of
Yes.
them. I've had them
Okay, that's sharp.
for
That's
quite a
sharp.
while now. Yeah, yeah. I've
That's a
held them since
super.
the
I
longest.
mean, that. Yeah, that's a hard flex. I can't lie. That's a hard flex. That's a good
Yeah,
start.
yeah.
You get
Um,
me? Like that's a good. So where did you pick them up?
where did I pick them up? I got them with Hannon. I got it in a raffle actually. So it was really
Shout
so
out to
random.
Hannon,
I
man.
know. It was so random. Like, it was probably one of the first raffles I entered. So I'd bought shoes previously, but I hadn't started entering raffles until like a couple of years after that. So I think there was a pair of like orange and black like Jordan ones I had, but I sold those on. They were like my very, very first pair. Right, but these are like my first raffle pair that I won, and I got them off Hannon. I remember like being like, oh, like there's some shoes out of delivery, and I was like, what shoes are these? Because I didn't think I would have won the raffle. And then my real taste came. It was so exciting. But yeah, that's my like one of my OG
Yeah,
shoes. I don't wear
Hannon.
them often, but I love
Yeah,
them.
Hannon don't get a lot of love. Yeah, Hannon don't get a lot of love, man.
Yeah,
But yeah, you can get some good stuff off of Hannon, man. Hannon, and they're still going strong, man. So yeah, respect to Hannon, and
yeah.
it's super, super hard shoe. I remember picking these up. Like these are actually
Mm.
like when I first like because I've been into kicks from when I was young, but there was a time like probably from like I don't want to put a year to it, but there was a period probably in the last 10 years, probably like 10 years ago, let's say, right,
Mm.
where my focus wasn't on shoes, it was on other things, right?
Yeah.
And when I started getting back into kicks, one of the first pairs of shoes when I was reintroducing and like people were starting to school me on Jordans and more, one of the first pair of shoes I copped from Sneakers app. So I got my roll toes from
Ooh,
Sneakers
from
app
sneakers.
were the roll toes. That was
No way.
from the actual Sneakers app
I can't believe that
direct.
is.
You get me? But no, it's nuts, right? It's nuts because like I haven't copped anything of any notes since. No, I tell a lie. I've done okay, but in the last year, Jeshel, let me just tell
Yeah,
you
it's been
now.
hard,
I don't
yeah.
know what it is. I feel like I'm shadow. I'm certainly shadow banned. They've definitely like turned whatever switch I had on is off,
It's
like
off.
without a shadow of a doubt. So I'm not expecting anything good anytime soon. But yeah, man, I got the real tools from the Sneakers app, and I was super happy with those, man, because it was like I was just getting into the game in terms of
Yeah,
understanding more about Jordan, understanding more about the ones. Like I remember picking up a
the
pair of ones, picking
heritage.
up a pair of twos, and
Mm.
yeah, and the heritage of them and what they meant and stuff like that. And Rotos is actually a really nice colorway, so yeah, that's
Very
a
nice
very very
colorway.
cool shoe.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm a big fan of that colorway. So okay, we've gone oldest. Now let's bring this up to the modern day and let's say what are the newest pair of shoes that you've recently picked up?
So I got the Joe Fresh goods, the 993s. Oh, they're so cute. Arctic blue, the pink
Ooh,
laces.
come on, yeah, come on,
Yeah,
boy,
they're very,
come
very
on,
nice. These are my first
come
pair of
on with
New
the Joe Fresh
Balances.
goods.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, that first
Nah, you
pair, like
smashed
very
it,
good
man.
pair to get. So I got this off Mr.
That's a
Porter.
hard shoe.
Yeah, Mr. Porter. So I
Are you
know.
serious?
Yeah, I'm very serious.
No, you need to educate
I know.
me.
Shocking. I got it off
Mr.
Mr.
Porter are not
Porter.
in my repertoire.
Yeah. And it came next day. No fuss, no wahala. Next day. It was beautiful. Like the delivery
No,
time, the
man.
service
I
was it
can't
just
believe it.
yeah, lovely. Packaging, everything was just like, yeah.
Mr.
So
Porter are moving like that.
they're moving like that. They
Mr.
also had
Porter are moving like that.
they had the ambush, you know, the ambush Air Force Ones, the green yellow that came out. They had those
Yeah?
sitting on there as well. Like they've had quite a few bits and bobs, but you need to like go on their Twitters. If you follow
No,
their Twitter,
man.
you'll see these things. Yeah, yeah, I
People,
know.
listen, man. Jashel's giving
I
you
just
some
plugged you
inside right
guys.
there, man. And she put me on just now. Yeah, nah, she just put me on right now, man. Because I've been sleeping on Mr. Porter in that regard. So nah, I need to get
Yeah.
involved, man. Because yeah, you're right. Them Joe Fresh goods, you get me. Like New Balance have definitely been doing the thing. And let's peel off and have a little chat about New Balance, man. Because I know you're in the game, and I know you obviously as a stylist, you see style and you see
Mm,
trends and you see what's moving. And you have to admit, over the last year, 18 months, like New Balance have definitely had a wave. Like they're definitely riding high. You get me? Like,
definitely, definitely.
993 is going hard. You get me? A lot of amazing, collaborations. You mentioned Joe Fresh Goods, Bodega's there, Salehi Bembury's there. Obviously,
Yes,
Emily and Dor,
Amanda.
Teddy Santis. Like they've been going hard. Like, so, talk to me about New Balance, man. You finally jumped in, man.
I finally jumped in. I've wanted to for a while, to be fair, but it's just about finding like a colorway and like a style that I liked as well. But I just think what they're doing is great. I think it's comfortability that's important. And for me now, I mean, I'm not getting old. If I say as I'm getting older, but as I'm getting older, I think comfortability is really important. And like if I'm on a long day and I'm
Of
on a shoot,
course.
like I want to wear a comfortable shoe, right? So like I think the idea of what they're doing is great. Like they're putting new colorways out, they're putting more thought into design, which they always have, but just making it more stylish. Like
Mm.
yeah, and I think it makes it just a bit more like appealing to people like us that like fashion as well. Sneakers is not just about, you know, buying a sneaker. Like normally you'll buy a sneaker because you want to wear it with something or an outfit or something like that. Well, for me anyway. And sometimes I'll pick out my
No, I
sneaker
hear
before
you.
I pick out my outfit. So it'll be like I really want to wear the shoe. What
Yeah,
am I gonna
that's me.
wear? Yeah, you get it. Like sometimes you're like, I'm gonna wear the shoe today. It's about what I have in my wardrobe rather than the other way around. So I think New Balance is starting to tap into that now. Like people want to wear stuff that's more stylish but comfortable. I can wear mine anywhere. They're comfortable, you know. So I like that about them. Whereas sometimes you can get a few like Nike shoes and like stuff that are not quite comfortable, but they're stylish. So I think that's where New Balance is hitting the mark. Yeah.
I think definitely, I completely agree with where you're coming from. I think
Mm.
where Nike have kind of fallen off even though they've still got a significant market share, I think the area that they've fallen off is in quality,
Yes.
definitely in comfort as well.
Yeah.
Like I think the shoes generally are quite narrow, so if you do have a wider foot over time, you are gonna feel it as well.
Feel it.
Like, and I
Definitely.
don't think I don't think their comfort technology works as good as sort of an Adidas or a New Balance. And the thing
Mm.
that I noticed very, very quickly once I had a few new balances in hand was the level of quality on the
Yeah.
finished
The
product. Like it's
finishing is
just a
insane.
really well made shoe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a
Yeah.
really well made shoe. Like, and I'm talking like from their GRs to their collabs, like they're just really well made. Like you can get the funny thing with Nike is that you can get a really well made GR and a terrible collab. Like it can go either way. Depends on what factory it comes out of. Like
Yes,
you
I
don't. It's like it's
agree.
just rolling the dice. People are
Yeah.
complaining about like people are complaining about certain like I remember when I got the lost and founds. I don't know if I mentioned I
Oh
got the
yeah,
lost and founds earlier,
you
but
did.
when I got the
You
lost
did.
when 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 I got lost and found, one of
See
my
what you did
friends was
there.
like, "Oh, be
I'll get you
careful, man,
back.
because some of the glue."
Yeah.
You still got your roto, so I'm still down in it. It's calm in it, but no. But one of my friends was like, "Oh, be careful because there's some ink. Sorry, not ink. It was glue. Glue. There's some
Oh
glue splatter, and a lot of people are complaining about
yeah,
glue
I saw
splatter and blah
that.
blah blah
Mm.
on the shoes." And I was like, "Mate, like, what is this, man? Especially on like certain shoes where it's like, obviously these have been spoken about for such a long time. You want to make sure that the quality is
It's
right.
quality,
New
yeah.
Balance have never had that issue. No one's ever come out and said, oh, the quality of this New Balance is terrible. Nah,
Yeah.
it's always been like really, really good. So you have to shout them. They're doing good work.
Yeah, they definitely are.
And I'm looking forward, because I haven't picked up my first. I've had a few New Balances in hand, but I
Yeah.
haven't kept a pair yet.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
I'm still open. I'm still open to be persuaded in terms of what direction to go. I was really feeling the 2002R protection pack
Yes,
that dropped
same.
last
I
year,
nearly got a pair
but I feel
actually.
like, yeah, this is it. And
Yeah.
they have had like they have like come back out recently, but it's not the older colors. These are newer colors,
New
and I'm not
colorways.
feeling the newer colors as much as the older ones. Yeah, so we'll see where we go with that. But I do like the 99s. So like you got the 992993. I think the 99s are also very, very cool.
Agreed.
So yeah, I'll definitely be looking in that direction as well. But yeah, that's definitely a hard shoe. Yeah, shout out to Joe Freshkers, man. He doesn't miss, man. He
Does
don't
not
miss, man. He's been
miss.
on fire for a minute. So talk to me, Jeshel. Your most rarest pair of shoes.
I don't know. I don't think I have any rare pairs.
Would you never know? All right.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
do
I have
you have
some.
a pair of shoes?
Yeah. Go on.
Do
Yeah.
you have a pair of shoes that you have never seen anyone wear?
Yeah. I have a lot of shoes that I don't see people wear, but I think that's just because I have a lot of shoes. Yeah. But I don't know. You know what? That's a good point. So yeah, you have a point. I
See, that's where I'm coming from as
don't
well, because
have
some people might not have they might not have like an Air Yeezy 2 in the back. They may
any.
just have
Yeah.
a shoe that they've just never seen another person wear in the flesh.
True. I mean, I have some Para SB dunks. I've never seen anyone wear those ever. To be fair.
You have the Power SB Dunks.
Yeah. But I don't know. Like, I've never seen anyone wear those. That's
Wow.
my favorite shoe, and I've actually
I've
stopped wearing it a bit because I like it so much.
I've never seen anyone wear them in real life.
Okay, I feel
I've
better now.
never seen it in real life.
Yeah, I've never seen it
I've
either. So
never
when I
seen it
do
in real
wear
life.
them,
Literally,
yeah, people are like, "Oh, like I wore them to the office the other day. I had to go in to do something." Someone was like, "Your shoes," and I was like, "Oh yeah, the Para SB Dunks." I've never heard of that before. Wow, and I was like, "Yeah, little shoe
they're
flex."
so hard. Those paras, yeah, they were so hard. That like the thing is, like the use of color,
Yeah,
like and the white and just the it was so fresh. It was
so
good. Like I
fresh.
loved everything about that shoe, man.
Yeah,
It was so fresh. It was so
and the
good. Like
gummy,
it was
little gummy
literally. I can't even
sole.
remember the time
Yeah,
of year. This is it.
yeah,
Like everything
chef's
about
kiss.
it was so hard. Like I really, really enjoyed that shoe. Yeah, come on, give it, man. Give it up, man. Like that shoe to me, yeah, right. That shoe was. I think it came out maybe like 2 or 3 years ago. Like
Yeah.
when I saw that shoe, I was like, oh, I'm not an SB guy, but that
Yeah,
shoe,
that might
I
sway
can
me.
do a lot with that. I can do
Do
some
you know what
damage
I
with that.
mean?
Yeah, no, I could do damage with that shoe. You know,
Yeah.
it's
I think
so clean. It's
it's
so
really
clean,
well made.
and the use of color,
Yeah.
yeah, as well,
Yeah,
is
yeah,
so
yeah.
well made,
Quality
so well
control
made,
there is
and the use of
fantastic.
color means, oh man, it's fantastic. No, you smashed it. You smashed it.
Yeah. The
Oh
laces
man,
even like the laces are a little bit like bigger and they've got this nice feel to it and they've got para written on the little lace and like it's just details like that for me just make a shoe really special. Yeah, I love the shoe. I think the colorway is different as well. Like it's not something it's kind of like you could low-key wear every day, but it's also very special. Like when someone sees it, they're like, oh, that's different. So I like that about the shoe. Yeah. So SB.
no,
You know what? It's been a
I
few
really
collabs
love the
that I've
shoe, man.
liked and that one.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense.
that's super hard. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, yeah. And I have to be honest with you. Yeah, in terms of like answers to that question, that's like one of the best because that is legit. I've never seen that shoe on someone's feet before. I've
There we
never seen it.
go. Ah.
I mean, and I don't think, yeah. And I don't think it's one of those ones where it's probably never gonna retro. It's probably never gonna come out again. The next
Yeah.
collaboration they do with Para is just gonna be another. It's gonna be another shoe or another colorway. So it's like that particular shoe banged so hard. So yeah, you have smashed it. Yeah, still yeah. So yeah, well done, Jeshel. Yes, you have
Thank
done it.
you. I did it. I did it. I was like, oh, I'm not sure if. Can you hear
Nah, you
me?
have done it. You've
Yeah.
done it.
I
You've
was like,
done
I'm
it.
not
You've done it.
sure
You
if that
smashed.
if I do have a rare
Yes, I
shoe,
can.
but I do. So, I probably have more
No,
there
you
than I
fully do. You
think.
fully do. Feel free to mention some others if you have them, man.
I don't know. I feel like my everyday shoe. It's not a rare shoe, but I've never seen anyone wear my particular shoe. I'm sure you've seen people wear it, but my Sacai, my Vapor Waffles, in Sesame. That's my favorite shoe.
Ah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I wear those shoes probably. I wear those shoes a lot. Like I wear them for shoot days. I wear them
Mm.
just going out like somewhere, and I think the colorway is just so versatile. But that's probably my most worn, not my rarest. But yeah, quite an expensive most worn shoe, but it's just very comfortable. That's probably one of my most comfortable like Nike shoes. Like they did well with that. The quality is like insane. Yeah, got that from Foot Patrol. So
I
shout out to Foot
respect.
Patrol.
Yeah. Oh, shout out to Football Troll.
Yeah,
Yeah, I respect the Vapor Waffle, and the Sesame is a solid colorway.
yeah,
Um, a lot of people have love for that shoe because I think over everything else, the comfort is just crazy on the shoe from
yeah.
most people's accounts.
Definitely,
Everyone just says like
definitely.
it's a super comfortable, like
Yeah,
double sole. When it comes to for me, I more lean towards the original Sacai waffles.
yeah.
The original drop that
Same. A
they
little
had before
bit.
they started going Vapor Waffle.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I lean a bit. I think it's just a little cleaner as a silhouette, but
Mm-hmm,
I would never, like, I was speaking to someone recently, shout
mm-hmm.
out to Sosa. Like, I was speaking to my boy Sosa recently, and that is his favorite shoe. The Vapor Waffle is his
Yeah,
favorite shoe. That
it's
is his
just like
favorite
it's
shoe, hands
clean.
down.
It just gives
Like,
a little bounce to it. The bubble, like at the bubble, the foam at the bottom is quite. I don't know. It gives it a nice little designer aspect, I guess, which I quite like. So at first
mm,
I thought it was a bit strange, but when you get used to it, it's a really nice like style. Yeah, it's clean. It's clean.
I respect it.
Yeah.
I respect it. Can I ask you, what are your most expensivest pair of shoes?
In terms of resale, I don't buy a lot of
Could be in
shoes
resale, could
resale.
be how much you paid.
Probably
Okay.
the Sacai's. Probably the Sacai's, as in how much I've paid. Oh no, my Yeezys. My Yeezys. It's a lie. Yeezys retail, that's the most
Which
I've paid
easy?
retail. The 700s.
Ah, Wave Runners.
Yeah, Wave Runners. Yeah. That's the one. My Wave Runners.
Yeah,
I
without a
love that
doubt.
shoe. I absolutely love that shoe. Like, I know it's very
Bro.
controversial, but the colorway is just, I don't know, it's a bit of me. Like, I wear that shoe often. Um, yeah,
Mm,
I like the shoe. I wouldn't say it's the most comfortable shoe, weirdly, but it looks like an everyday
mm,
shoe. I don't know
mm,
how to explain it. And I love how fat the laces are. Like, I like that it just loops on top of the shoe. I
mm.
don't know how to explain, but yeah, that's probably my expensive retail shoe because I paid 250 for that retail.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I paid 250 as
yeah,
well. Like that is definitely a hefty price tag on
yeah,
that shoe. And yeah, like yeah, proud of
yeah,
place. Like I got them
yeah,
right next to me.
yeah. They're
I'm a
just
big
cute.
easy guy.
Yeah,
That yeah, they just work so well. Like I love shoes that just don't have any don't allow they don't put any limitations on your fit. Like shoes where
100%.
you literally just you can throw them on. Just throw me on, bro. Like, don't worry, because whatever you're wearing, I'm here for you. Like, and the thing is, I even put the paras in that world as well. Like, in the sense that, like, you don't have to match that. You don't have to color coordinate that. You can
Mm,
just throw them on and they do their own thing. And the waves are definitely that guy, man. Like I don't have to think about what I'm dripping in when I'm
yeah.
wearing these shoes because they speak for themselves. You get me, like,
Yeah, I think
but
it just
I
makes you
de-
look good anyway. Like it's just a shoe that makes people
yeah,
look good
yeah,
anyway. They
yeah,
put it on and you're like, okay, cool. So
cool. Now I definitely want to talk to you about Kanye now because why not? You get me? Because we got a lot of stuff going on, man. The latest news, and obviously for those that are keeping tabs, obviously in a collaboration with Adidas for a long period of time,
Yes.
sent out some ill-advised tweets, to say the least.
Advice.
Relationship ends with Adidas. Relationship ends with Adidas. Adidas realized, oh, we've been relying on Yeezy to hold up our brand for the last 8 years. Not putting out the Yeezys that we have in our warehouse is probably going to set us back 1.3 billion. Okay, we've got a massive hole. They initially said they had a lot of chest, and they said we're going to put them out anyway, just remove the Yeezy branding, but we haven't seen anything come out with them. The latest coming out of the camps now is that an agreement has been made for the remaining Yeezys to be sold. So almost, I don't know how strong that relationship is now, but almost they're back in business together, at least for the remainder of the Yeezys that had already been made. So what do you think about that whole saga, where we are now? What are your thoughts? Were you ready to burn your Yeezys when you saw the tweets?
Yeah, I can't lie, I was not ready to burn my Yeezys. You know, this whole thing, I wasn't. I'm gonna be honest with you, I just wasn't. For me, it was just more like, so many of these things happen with big brands, like bigger brands like Balenciaga and even Dolce & Gabbana and stuff like that. They've had issues where people have said, things, very inappropriate things, or had campaigns or things that have been not great in the public eye. I don't know, cancelling a brand, because it's happened so many times, brands always come back from it. So I just feel like to cancel like one person completely, it's like, not almost unfair, but it's just, different rules apply to different people, I guess. So I feel like for different brands, they've always been able to come back from these cycles of like something bad has happened, they've managed to issue an apology. I think the issue may lie here where Kanye hasn't issued an apology as such. I don't know if he has, but stuff like that. Normally when people issue an apology and say, oh, I've done X, Y, and Z, people are able to bounce back from such things. So I feel like, I don't know if Adidas also wanted to let things die down, which is a smart thing to do. Whilst everything is heated up, where so many brands have dropped this person and then you're now selling their stuff, it doesn't look, it's not sensitive. It's not a sensitive thing to do. So I feel like they wanted to let the heat die down a bit, and, sitting on so much stock. I even saw an article today about, they said they considered burning it, but in such a climate that we're in now, burning trainers when people need trainers would be a ridiculous thing to do, especially how much it costs to make. We've bought them for retail $250, the Wave Runners. Imagine, burning all these shoes when people are going through all these things, natural disasters happen in the world, contributing to climate change by burning 1.3 whatever billion.
100%.
Nuts.
Man.
And also to leave it sitting in a warehouse, as
Mad.
you know, trainers need to be worn. So the longer you leave in a warehouse, the more likely that the shoe is not going to hold and, not erode, but it's not going to be as good quality as it would be if you sold it on. And
it's going to start to degrade. It's going to
start to degrade.
100%.
Yeah. So you can't just let shoes sit in the factories. I feel like there's also this panic of like, okay, we could let it sit in a factory, but then they're unsellable and then we're going to lose so much money. And no one likes to lose money. So I think that's where they're going to be like, okay, cool, we're going to do a Yeezy, go back and resell all these Yeezys. And you know what? They're all going to sell out because people are going to lap it up, I think, personally. So, yeah.
No, I completely agree. I completely agree with everything that you said. I think first and foremost, I think you're right in terms of Kanye's treatment. I think the treatment was a little different to how it has been for other people of similar stature that have actually done worse things. Like he said something that was pretty negative, but he actually hasn't done anything. He said something that was silly to say, but he didn't actually do anything. Some people have actually done things and been sort of forgiven a little quicker than he has. And I think ultimately what you said is correct in the sense that as a business, how socially responsible is it for them to burn shoes, for them to let the shoes sit? Even from a social responsibility angle, they've made the shoes, the labor was used, materials were used that could have been
Yeah.
used for other things. So we need, the best thing
Yeah.
to is either give the shoes away or sell the shoes, right?
Mm.
And if you're going to sell the shoes, then there is a moral question of you're selling the shoes without without connection to the
Yeah. To
actual
the person.
originator of
Yeah.
the shoe, which a lot of people had an issue with, right?
Yeah.
So I think in them sort of allowing things to die down a little bit, right? They're going to have to take on the chin that people are going to say, you know what, you're a little bit of a turncoat. You're a little bit of, I'm saying, like, what's the word? I can't figure it. I can't figure the word now, but like, you said you were going to do something and you didn't do it.
It's like sell
Right.
out.
So I'm saying you're a little sketchy in that regard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm saying
Yeah.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I'm saying you sold out because ultimately, right, but in the same sense, like you were saying, and it's so true, the socially responsible thing to do is actually sell these shoes. You get me? Like, you can't just burn them. You can't just throw them away. Like, somebody has to, like, somebody's worked for these shoes and ultimately they are a business. They do have to appease their shareholders and try and turn a profit. They've already said the next few quarters are going to be sticky because ultimately they've got a massive 1.3 billion hole in their pocket because they can't do nothing with these shoes. So it made sense for them to cut a deal. Yeah, it made sense to cut a deal.
I mean, it's even more than that, really, because they've lost a person that has brought a lot to their brand, right? If you look back to like
Massively.
even like Yeezy and Kanye's whole like first ever collection, like his affiliations with just music and how he's brought that into streetwear, his reach, he even like his whole neutral palette, the whole Skims Kardashians neutral palette, is basically comes from Kanye and what he started. Like when people were not wearing neutrals before that first fashion show he did, you know. So like he has a whole contribution to streetwear, which I think is insane. And I think Adidas have like, because they put all their bets into, I guess technically one person, they're probably struggling to make that profit, that revenue they were making before, naturally. Because like Yeezy Day, the app was it's called Yeezy Day. Stuff like this, like they've had popping.
Yeah.
It's insane. And like to sell the shoes they were selling, like the retail price $250. Like even Nike don't really sell shoes at retail for that price. Like they do, but not as often as Adidas were doing. So they were probably making crazy profits of such shoes. So they're probably struggling in that sense as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah. I mean, they have the comeback of
you're
like
absolutely
shoes,
right.
like
I think
Gazelles, and the Samba, but it's still not the same. Yeah.
No, you're right. And I'm a Gazelle guy. Like I do love the Gazelle, but I think the notoriety behind those shoes isn't like, it's not about hype or anything like that. It's just about it's about the amount of effort that the brand has put into positioning those silhouettes, and they just haven't over the years put as much effort into positioning those silhouettes at the forefront of our minds. It's just, it hasn't been their priority. Their priority has been Yeezy, and it's been clear. There's no other, like like Nike have got Sneakers Day where they focus on all their sort of retros and hype kicks, and Adidas have Yeezy Day where they only sell Yeezys. So I'm saying, like, so it's clear they didn't have a Gazelle Day, they didn't have a Samba Day, they didn't have I'm saying, like, they didn't have any other day, like.
No, you know what? That's where Nike was smart.
Cared about, which is only
literally, where Nike have been smart is that they haven't put their bets into like just. I mean, I guess Michael Jordan 1s, but in terms of other shoe, if there was to be no Jordan 1s tomorrow, there's so many other shapes and styles that people still buy. I don't know, so I feel like that's when Nike are a bit clever, where they've got the Air Max and like, you know, people were like every year, is it the year of the dunk? Like I guess I feel like last year, was it 2 years ago, it was the year of the dunk, year of the Air Max, and then, you know, we're seeing other styles coming back into play. Hopefully we'll see an Air Max 98 come back. Like it's nice. You've got that kind of like things that are coming and ebbs and flows, whereas Adidas don't really have that, I think. Which is what is hard for them as a streetwear brand, I guess, to position themselves with Nike.
Yeah, I think they definitely got complacent and just started just doing what they felt was easy and was making the money and making sense. And I think they just lacked a little bit of foresight, because I think what you said is absolutely right, in a sense. You have to diversify your revenue streams. You can't just rely on your golden egg, that golden
Yeah.
cow that's producing that amazing milk. You can't just rely, because ultimately it's a risk. If that flops, then you've got nothing else. And I think, like you pointed to with Nike, right? I was looking at a trading report and recently, and I can say that Nike and Jordan are about 75% of the market. Of
Okay.
that 75%, the majority is Nike. Jordan brand are about 20 to 30% of that. So about
Yeah.
45%, 40%, 45% is just Nike owned brands. It's
Fantastic.
your Air Maxes, it's your Dunks, it's your Air Force Ones. I'm saying, like, it's all of their silhouettes, plus all of their GRs that we don't talk about, the Vapor Maxes of the world, right? And all of these different shoes that we don't really think about or talk about. Those shoes, right, make up a significant part of the market share. So it's like, yeah, they've covered everything. I'm saying they've got it fully down. Whereas Adidas just, yeah, they were all in with
Yeah.
the Yeezys, and then it was almost too late by the time they realized, and then they started making some bold statements that they couldn't back up. You get me? Like, and many people in the industry are not really. Yeah, I'm not really here to. I'm not really. The thing is, I actually really like Adidas. Like, I like their clothing. I
Yeah.
like the fit of their shoes. I like a lot of the stuff that from a design perspective. I like a lot of the stuff that they represented. The issue that I had with Adidas was how they treated their designers, in terms of oh, you've got a situation with Kanye. Kanye's situation is he's turned their back on Kanye. Jerry Lorenzo has been there for almost 2 years now at this
Mm.
point, and I haven't seen anything come out from him. Right, so he was at Nike for a while, and I was seeing shoes, I was seeing lovely shoes, and I'm seeing clothes. I'm not seeing anything coming out from Jerry Lorenzo now. Obviously, Pharrell's been there for a minute. Pharrell's been doing his thing, but Pharrell's gone over to Louis now, so he's probably not going to drop any shoes.
Yeah.
Sean Witherspoon has been doing his thing, but Sean
Oh
Witherspoon's
yeah,
thing
Sean
is not
Witherspoon.
thinging right now at all.
He had a little hype. He had a moment. He did have a moment with his.
Do
I
you
have
think
a
so?
pair. I had a pair of the. I still have a pair of my summer shoes. The the ones with the little flowers on the side. But I feel like he had a moment and they were
The
cool. But
superstars, super
yeah, the
superstars.
superstars, the Super Earth superstars, yeah. And then he made it in a black colorway, and I was like, oh, I don't know about that. And I feel like
Oh,
the
they were
concepts,
terrible.
yeah, the concepts are beautiful, but they're not very everyday. So mine has got the superstars have like flowers, but the thread obviously trails on the floor. So yeah, little things like that, like they're beautiful, but for everyday in London, yeah, I could only wear them when it was bone dry
That's
outside.
actually nuts.
Yeah, like it's not you're not
And
wearing
God
them now.
forbid it rains during the
Yeah,
day.
and of course summer
Yeah, no, it's
it
nuts.
could rain. It's England. It could rain at any moment. So
It's true.
yeah,
It's true.
yeah. I think he had a moment. I think what
No,
he does is
man. I have to
beautiful,
tell.
but it designs maybe not as
Yeah.
practical as we'd one like.
No, I respect that.
Mm.
I think um when I first saw the Super Earth Superstars, the number one thing that came to my mind is, this is not a universal shoe, in the sense that it's not going to travel well. It's not traveling well. Like in California, it can run. In LA, blah, blah, blah. Like in any kind of hot country, it could run. But this isn't going to work in Africa. This is definitely not going to work in the UK, in most of Northern Europe. And I'm saying, like, it's not going to run
Yeah,
because, like, the weather's too inclement. It doesn't make sense. The floor's almost always wet. So you're
yeah.
just going to have traily
Trilly
streaks of stuff
thread.
on your, and
Yeah.
like, yeah, and what I was thinking people were gonna start doing, I thought people are gonna start plaiting the thing, maybe start pinning it up so it doesn't go on the
I've seen
floor. I
people
haven't
cut
really seen
it.
the shoe
I've seen people
outside.
like cut
Yeah,
it, so it's like
yeah,
doesn't go on the
makes
floor.
sense. Makes
But when
sense.
I do wear them, I get compliments. So it's a beautiful
People
shoe. Don't
like
get
them,
me
yeah.
wrong. People really do like them, and I like them, so I wouldn't have bought them. Um, but it's
Of
just
course.
practicality, I think, because I can't lie. I did not wear them this summer. I don't think actually. I think I wore them once. No, I wore them once or twice. But I remember wearing it and being like, looking at the floor, being like, "Oh my gosh!" Like, don't want to get it. dirty. Yeah.
Can't jump in
So
no puddle out there. Yeah,
exactly.
real talk. Talk to me. What are your cheapest
Oh,
pair of shoes?
cheapest. I don't think anything's that cheap, you know. Damn. I
She's
don't
got expensive
know.
taste. She's an expensive girl.
I
She don't play.
Yeah, I don't really
Her
play
money's
my
right.
shoes. Money's right.
She's
I'm gonna
up.
be Air Force Ones. Maybe the Air Force Ones.
That's calm.
Yeah, Air Force Ones. I've got a pair of.
If your cheapest shoe,
Yeah, I think it's the Air
if
Force.
your cheapest shoe is an Air Force One, you're up.
I don't know what other shoe I would have. I feel like I'm being judged right now. But Air Force Ones,
No, you're calm.
yeah, I mean, I have running shoes, but they're also not like cheap. So I feel like it's the Air Force. But Air Force Ones, like, when they used to be like £80. Like, I have a pair that when they were £80. And then I've got a pair of like varsity purple dunks, but I feel like I paid 110, 120 for those. It was about 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
Varsity court purple.
Yeah.
Yeah, women's edition.
Yeah, that's they're hard.
Yeah, but I got those
Sound hard
retail,
still.
so they weren't
Yeah.
expensive.
Yeah.
Well, super, super expensive. Yeah.
That's calm. Yeah. Dunks are usually like 99 to 110,
Yeah.
120. So yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, the Air Force Ones take it, man. I respect it. Yeah, that's calm. Tell me what your best comfortable shoe is. AKA your bop to the shop. What are you drawing for if you're looking for the most
I'm going to be
comfortable shoe?
judged. I'm going to be judged, but I wear
love
my
it.
Sacai Vapor Waffles to the shop. Yes, guys. I wear it to the corner shop because they're comfortable. People look at me, but I find them comfortable, so that's what I wear. Yeah.
So Jeshel's running out the yard, yeah, right? She's gonna get like a bit of milk. Maybe she's gonna get like the newspaper. I don't know whatever. She's gonna get a couple of sweets, right? And the first thing she's drawing for, yeah, it's not an Air Force One. It's not a Yeezy, right? It's not like any of the running shoes.
Yeah.
She's going for the Vapor Waffle.
Yeah.
The Sacai Vapor Waffle.
You heard it here first.
You're up. She is up.
I'm not up.
That is confirmation. Jeshel is up.
What can I say?
I respect it. I'm not up. I'm just stylish. I like that.
Yeah, no. It's either that or my Yeezys. I'm actually terrible. I wear my... Oh my gosh, I'm exposing myself. But I wear my Yeezys to the gym sometimes because I worn them in and they're really comfortable. So sometimes you're on a light day. Just like it's just a light day. It's not like a heavy session. I'm like, oh, like I just want to wear something cute to the gym. I'll wear my Yeezys. I can tell by the laugh I'm being judged. But... yeah,
that is a light flex.
You know,
if I'm ever
so
on the light day, just on the light day,
front.
just on the light day. No, I respect it.
Yeah, that's what I
to
like.
be fair though, I'm not as judgmental when it comes to wearing Yeezys to do that kind of activity because I actually think of all of the more. I actually think like they're athleisure shoes, right? And although they're not made to do like heavy duty athletics in them, you know, they're not made to be like played footballing or any of that sort of stuff. But like, if like, I definitely would not be opposed to wearing a pair of Yeezys in the gym. You get me? Especially with the amount of crazy colorways that have come out over the last few years. Like there are some that could easily go to the gym in my opinion.
Some that you're not going to wear out.
I'm not judging you in that regard.
The colorway is so crazy. I'm like, who's wearing this outside? So I feel like some of them, they make sense to be like a little gym flex. But no, definitely my Sacai Vapor Waffles. I want a pair of all black ones. That's next on my wish list. I wanted the black the gummy soles, like just for like having all black.
Yeah, they were good.
They're really nice. So,
no, they were really good.
Yeah, I feel like they're a great shoe. The resale's insane, but they're a lovely shoe.
No, I respect that. I think that of the colorways that came out for the Vapor Waffle, the all black with the gum were the ones where I was like, nah, you're thinking of getting it. That definitely can run still. That's a shoe that's easily wearable as well. But yeah, Yeah, I haven't actually tried them on. I feel like once I try them on, I'll be able to. Because I'm the comfort king, man. Where the comfort goes, I'm ready to go there. You
Yeah.
get me?
What's
But
your
I've
most
just never
comfortable
had the
shoe?
opportunity. Every time they've come up, I just never. My most comfortable shoe, I
Yeah.
have to be honest. I'll probably say the Ultra Boost. Um,
Ooh.
Yeah, it's between the Ultra Boost and the Yeezy, but the Ultra Boost are probably more comfortable than the Yeezy over time.
Yeah.
And they're pretty much exactly the same shoe, just like composed in different ways. So it's hard to separate them really. But like in terms of like I feel I feel more comfortable in an Ultra Boost because I know I can do anything in an Ultra Boost.
Mm.
Like I can go where the day takes me. Whereas in a Yeezy, I'm always thinking, especially if I'm wearing one of my nicer pairs of Yeezys, I'm always thinking, okay, I might not want to go there or might want to not want to
Yeah.
do
That's
that.
fair.
I don't want to get anything to
Mm.
mess up my kicks or anything. Whereas in the Ultra Boost, like I can run them boys down, man. They are ever ready.
That's what
I've
you
got a
need.
couple pairs of Ultra Boosts, and I feel like they're slept on as well. Yeah, I feel like they're slept on as a silhouette. Um, I feel like another thing, like Yeezy really before the
Mm.
350 original 350s came out, he was pumping he was pumping the Ultra Boost really, really hard. Like he was rocking
Mm.
it so hard, and it was such a very, very cool silhouette, especially the early iterations of the shoe. But then Adidas just went crazy, and they started just so many iterations, so many changes. It's like what they could have done is they could have stuck with a similar silhouette and started just doing collabs. Like they started doing like the bait collabs and different things. Like
Yeah.
they should have stuck with the original silhouette and then started doing different collabs and then keep a
Mm.
retro in the shoe, as opposed to like they made like 20 versions of that shoe. Like there's like 20 odd versions of the Ultra Boost. Like it's too many.
Yeah.
Right. And you got Ultra Boost 22 or whatever. Like, and I'm like, bro, it did never had to go that far. And I'm sure there's like reasons monetarily that they did it like that. But I
Mm.
think like most people that I speak to, especially in sneakers, they're like, the first one was the best one. They didn't
No,
have to
I
do anymore.
agree. That's to do
They
it all
just
the
could have
time.
kept on doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could have
I
just
think
kept on
that's
and that would have been
same with a
hard.
lot of shoe companies. Like they do that. They try to make so many variations of a shoe, and I think sometimes the beauty in just keep